Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 16th of October. So just thought I'd throw this older heat map on here just to show you at a glance of what's gone on then. So, well, yen, dollar yen here, the yen even is the strongest currency overnight there, and the US dollar not far behind. The yen's really caned it. I mean, it's up against, well, actually Aussie dollar now is only 2.5% down on it, but this is a real move to safety. We've seen the yen pushing up obviously the US dollar there, and then you look at the other side of the coin, and the typical when we see this commodity currencies getting a hammering, the Aussie New Zealand dollar there, Canadian dollar, three currencies there, the ones that are really getting a hammering. Then aside the US, there's no surprise, the pound's getting a hammering as well amongst all that. Euro not doing quite so bad there, but still quite down against the more significant majors there, and well, there we are. So that's where we start the morning. Where we'll end the morning is, of course, yet another case. But let's have a look at the technicals. Actually, just before I do so, just in terms of fundamentals coming out today, we've really just got core retail sales at 130, and well, of course, we've got the Brexit negotiations continuing. So let's look at the euro first, and technically here, well, it just looks like we've got more of the same, more continuation, more downside here at this stage. Probably missed this morning's bus in terms of it going. I was up quite late last night, and I was toying with the idea of a short here, but I left it alone, and probably should have just toyed with the idea and carried on and had the short. But anyway, so there we are. Market sliding down there at the moment on the euro. Really, for me, I'd have to wait for it in some sort of retrace. Just watching that, but for now, not anything I could do first thing this morning. The pound equally selling off this morning already. More of a consolidated move here. I'm a bit more wary on the pound because of the Brexit situation. I mean, we never know. Boris hasn't walked away from this situation yet. Maybe he could surprise us and we could see a 200 or 300 pip run down quite quickly, or maybe even more. Maybe he could surprise us the other way, and a deal may be made, and we'll see. Who knows? It's really on the sitting there on the edge. So the pound, as much as the moment it's running southwards, it's been, well, we'll see what happens really, and I think there's too much indecision around the Brexit news there for now. Dollar yen. Well, the yen, it's just really, it's the strongest, and you would look at this technically and think no way, and that just really sums up a lot of the price action that we're seeing there. Maybe it's just giving some back at the moment, but it was the strongest to where it was opening. But to be fair, it doesn't look massively convincing, but there we are. It hasn't moved very much. The others have moved a lot. I think that's really where we are with it. Money had been running through it all the way through there overnight, and well, catching maybe a bit the other side now, but it's dollar strength at the moment. Okay, so it's not necessarily risk off yet or risk back on. We can't get too excited. Aussie dollar, this is the one that's taken the biggest of hammerings. I mean, again, it's I mean, in percentage terms, it's 2.5% down against the yen. It's about 2% down against the US dollar, I believe, as well. I mean, but it's moved down quite solidly. Is it going to reverse here? We're going to get a bounce, possibly, but I'm not trying to second guess this market. It could still roll over towards its S1. Has got daily pivot above, which may be a bit of a draw at some stage, but I need to see something before I just sort of buy into this. There was divergence into yesterday evening's market there. It's had a bounce, but it's pulled back since then. Now, not quite back down to the bodies yet. It may just have a little bit more of a roll yet. Okay, so that's where we're sitting there. When the Aussie Canadian dollar, as I said, was also I'm just going to show you on an hourlies here. So the Canadian dollar took a hammering really into yesterday, pulled back a little bit, but again, this has been one of the more favoured ones, sitting in the midst of things there. As I said, we've seen bigger money running into the bonds, etc. Maybe it's got some scope for a bit more downside here. A bit of dollar softening maybe against the Canadian dollar. We'll see, but for now, it's not a day trading currency I really like. One thing I was noticing, actually, I'll come back to the euro briefly on the dailies here and just show you. I've left the average true range here, and you can just see how things have flattened out over this period. We normally expect this in August into September maybe, but running into October, and it's just consolidating. It's really a play, and US election, etc., probably getting in the way somewhat there, and indecision all round. COVID, that whole bundle of things, and it's just sort of sitting there rangy. As I said, with the euro, it may be the one that rolls over today. Okay, let's just look at the S&Ps here briefly. I'm just doing that at the same time, just looking around the European markets, and it's not all bad. The DAX is up slightly this morning. CAC is on the edge there, it's slightly up there. The cash market's up about 16 points. FTSE is up about 19 points. So equity market's catching it a little bit. Just looking on this daily S&Ps, it caught the bounce yesterday. I wouldn't bet against the equity market really too much for too long on these. I mean, there's opportunities for sure at times, but seems to be a bit of a buying game normally. But untouched daily pivot still sitting below. It may come back for that through this morning here. We'll see how things shape up, but it's had a few down days. Maybe now wants to capture a bit more of a bounce. As I say, yesterday it certainly did a bit of a reversal, divergence towards the lows there around midday-ish there, and it sort of bit and ran. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. As I said, anything really to watch out for today. Maybe we'll see some volatility around the core retail sales. Otherwise, we're left to our own technical devices. Have a great one. Bye for now.